join us.
Doctor, would you define what you consider to be a suicide attempt?
A genuine attempt? A genuine suicide attempt?
What you would define as a suicide?
Well, attempting to end one's life.
So acting with the goal of dying.
Yes, sir.
Do you think reporting to the staff at the health services building that you ingested a great number of pills is consistent with the end goal of actually dying?
It's not inconsistent, counselor.
Wouldn't it be more consistent, though, to ingest the pills and not tell anyone?
I'm not sure that's ever been studied. I see your point. It would seem, in Congress, it would seem illogical to take pills to die and then tell someone about it. What we see in the real world, counselor, is not necessarily an either-or. In the real world, people many times have ambivalence. They have mixed feelings about it. At the time they take the ingestion, they've made their decision, but perhaps immediately after, they wish they hadn't. So I don't know what the truth is. That's my understanding of what the world is.
And it could also be that Brackenridge is a more favorable environment than the Travis County Jail.
Well, counselor, if he took as many pills as he said he did, that's not. I would agree that Brack is a more favorable environment, but I don't think I find any comfort in that kind of speculation that that's truthful. I can see it's not consistent to take pills and then tell people you took them. But if you're really just trying to get a better setting, I mean, to take 100 pills, or however many he took, to be that sick, he took a pretty massive number of pills, I think, counselor.
And one of the things I wanted to follow up with you is you were discussing your conversation with Mr. Daniel, I guess, Kenneth Daniel, Brandon Daniel's father.
Yes, sir.
And that lasted about 15 minutes.
I don't think it was over that.
And he indicated to you that he was suffering from a hereditary condition that led him to be very sick.
That's my recollection, yes, sir.
But you seem very dismissive of what he told you was the cause of his sickness.
Well, I don't know about dismissive. I'm cynical. As we say in forensic, he may have spoken the truth and nothing but the truth, but not the whole truth. He may have a hepatitis, and hepatitis can cause cirrhosis. I know he's ill. I probably was prejudiced that, from what I'd heard, that he has depression and has an addictive problem.
Based on what you heard from Brandon?
Yes, sir.
But hepatitis can cause cirrhosis, is that true?
Yes, sir.
And bile duct disorders can cause cirrhosis?
And what?
Bile duct disorders?
Yes, sir.
And some non-alcoholic fatty problems with the liver can cause cirrhosis?
Absolutely. There would be other causes.
And alcohol abuse obviously can.
It can.
Some medications can cause it.
That's correct.
And it can be hereditary.
Yes, sir.
So what he told you was not inconsistent with what you know of cirrhosis. It's just inconsistent with what Brandon Daniel told you regarding his father.
That would be true. I would have to look back at my notes and see if there's anything where I could elaborate to help you with that.
May I first look at this, Yeah. Sir, I'm showing you a page from the disciplinary records that you were testifying about earlier. I'm assuming that's consistent with what you've received previously?
Counselor, right now, I'm not recognizing this. I don't, if I've seen it, I don't recall looking at it.
At this time, the state would move to State's Exhibit 98.
Sir, one more second.
Move to Miss State's Exhibit 98, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we went ahead on the same grounds for his mistake.
Those are admitted.
And Doctor, I understand the font is small, but this entry made on February 2nd, year 2000, could you read that, please, for us?
Under incident detail, Counselor, the entire paragraph?
Yes, sir, if you would.
Our Caucasian informed me that they had come across a note from one girl to another stating, "Dear Lindsay, I know this is dumb, but Roger tried to kill himself last night." And he said that he and Brandon were going to remake Columbine in 7th. Informed Mom and Dad. Mom came in and we sat down and talked with Brandon. Brandon denied any involvement or knowledge of the note. We talked about his involvement in drugs, and he stated he had tried marijuana twice and had not smoked marijuana for about a year. Mom came into the meeting and stated that she was going to file a lawsuit against the school district. However, Mom was satisfied with the overall way we handled the situation and told me that you did a great job at handling the situation. We set up a care and concern meeting with the Mom informed, I can't read that, campus monitor. Is my impression that Brandon is involved in using drugs. I have statements from Jason, can't read it, and Zach, I can't read the last name, that state Brandon has told them that he has asked them for marijuana and has smoked in front of one of them, Jason, and smokes behind Hobby Lobby with some other kids that ride motorcycles. At this point, I'm taking Brandon at his word that these statements by Zach and Jason were things that occurred before he quit smoking marijuana.
And Doctor, would it surprise you if that's the only reference in those records of Mom saying she was going to sue the school district?
Counselor, I know I read it. This doesn't look like the context in which I saw it, so I may have seen it printed somewhere. I don't remember reading all these names. Maybe that's just a problem with my memory. But you asked, would it surprise me that this is the only reference? That doesn't seem compatible with my memory, but my memory doesn't serve me well sometimes.
And there are references in those records where on other occasions she was told to take Brandon to therapy of some sort, and she refused, but she never made mention of suing the school district except in that instance.
I remember seeing the statement about that he was that the mom had refused the direction to see a psychologist or talk to the school administration. I don't recall if I saw this anywhere else about the suit. This may be the only reference. I really can't say.
But you testified earlier that when she was told to get treatment for her son, she threatened suit, and that's not consistent with that entry at all, is it?
Well, I may have been careless. I don't know. I would have to look at that actual. I would have to look at the actual statement. I don't know if they were. I don't know if they were temporally associated, same incident, or my recollection was perhaps I made notes and then misunderstood my notes. I can't explain that.
Now, you indicated in your testimony that Mr. Daniels spoke to you and was at least a plan to commit suicide with a gun at age 18 in a hotel room. Did that come from Brandon Daniel?
Again, I think I had heard that. I'm not sure where I did ask him about that. But yes, it did, the confirmation came from Brandon.
Would it surprise you that you were the only witness in this trial to mention that?
That I was the only one? Nothing would surprise me. I guess I believed it or I wouldn't have said it. That doesn't mean that it's true. I recall his struggling somewhat to remember the age and circumstance when I asked him. So I'm not sure of my source of information. Because I asked him, he had not volunteered that to me.
And later in your testimony, you indicated that currently, I believe you're testifying about your prognosis, that currently Brandon Daniel is, I think you said he's doing well, he's less depressed.
I think the entries that I've seen in the EMR would confirm that, Counselor.
Okay.
And he has appeared much better to me, more animated, more engaging, more what we call affect or feeling.
And from what time frame?
In what time? Well, I guess I saw him originally in October, and then most recently this month.
During this trial?
During this trial, I'd have to look and see the last date to see if it was during this trial. Would you like for me to do that? Just, I have the date of my notes.
Please.
Saw him 1/6/2/22/14. I guess that's the last time.
January 14th? February 14th?
January 6th of 2014 and February 22.
February 22nd.
So that would be 5 days ago.
And later in your testimony, you said that he's now better.
He appears better.
So he's no longer depressed? Isn't that what you testified?
If I were to see him now and have to say he is or is not depressed, I don't see visible evidence of depression now.
And again, that's from what time frame? Just your last visit?
The last visit I did not see depression.
So during which visit would you say that you did not see the effects of depression?
Did not see depression?
Yes, sir.
Well, the last visit, which is 2/22, Well, it's kind of hard to say. Looking at my notes from 11/4, there seems to be some more concern about the future. In other words, the more future-oriented one is, the less depressive they are generally. There seemed to be a little bit more consideration that there might be a future, so that would probably be less depressive. I don't know that it's like a turning off a switch counselor, and generally one mood is going to vary somewhat, but I think there's been a gradual improvement and gradually less preoccupation with the suicidal stuff. So I don't know if I can answer your question. He has seemed less depressed over the months that I have known him.
Over the months beginning in November of 2013.
Well, originally it was October 6. Because I can remember part of my hesitation to get involved in the case was really, why should I bust my butt if he's not even going to stay alive? I tend to get pretty emotionally involved if I commit to a situation. And he was ambivalent about his own commitment to his own life.
And you consider yourself pretty emotionally tied to Brandon Daniels at this point, is that fair to say?
Well, I don't think I've lost professional objectivity. I like him. I see his worth.
I have no further questions.
Dr. Scott, you did review a number of records that we provided to you, is that correct?
That's correct.
Among those records were the high school disciplinary records from Chaparral High School.
I had them, yes.
Now, that is what this reflects. This looks different a little bit than the record we gave you.
Yes, I just don't recognize it.
Okay.
Maybe it's the font, I'm not sure.
I tell you what, let me grab my computer and show you mine.
And I think some of those names threw me off.
Could it be that the copy we gave you has redaction marks, so you weren't given the names of these school children?
Oh, that's possible.
Does that look familiar to you?
Yes, that does look more familiar.
But this is similar to the record that you did review, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Turn to page 10 of this record. And I'll ask you to read through first this paragraph, this incident, and then this incident. First this incident, and describe to the jury what it is that this incident is talking about.
Okay, just describe it by reading it?
Sure, describe it by reading it.
Okay, because right now I'm not familiar with what it is.
Okay, are you able to read that?
I can, yes, sir. I was informed by Jason, some last name, mother and father, that Brandon Daniels has 3 cut marks on his left wrist. Brandon stated that he used the back of an eraser to scratch the marks on his wrist. I told Mom and Dad that I was very concerned about Brandon, as he told another student that he wanted to commit suicide. He had made plans to carry out the suicide. He's skipping class, angry at home, and now he has cut marks on his wrist. I again told her that we felt that he should be evaluated by a professional psychologist. He adamantly refused and states that Brandon is just trying to get attention. Yes, he adamantly refused.
Okay, so summarize how does that affect your evaluation of Brandon Daniels' situation at that time? Is that a fair question?
I don't understand the
Okay,
question.
what's the story? What happened? You read the narrative. What does that mean to you?
Well, there was concern about Caldine and potential depression, and that they wanted him to see a psychologist, and she adamantly refused, she being the mother.
All right. maybe at that time she didn't threaten to sue the school, but she adamantly refused to follow up with psychological care for her child who was threatening to commit suicide. Is that what this says?
Yes, and I'm recalling a statement it said that she refused to see a psychologist and speak to the administration. It was in the same sentence.
Okay.
And I don't know if there was any reference to suit on that document, but I know there was a document I read somewhere, because it made reference to the administration all in the same sentence.
Okay. Then let's read the next paragraph to yourself. I believe you've already read parts of that. Please read the whole paragraph to yourself.
Is that loud?
No, read it to yourself. And does that help to refresh your recollection about exactly the incident you were just referring to?
Yes, it does.
What does it say about that particular part of the incident?
Well, it says we had strongly recommended that Brandon be evaluated by a psychologist. Mother refused and refused to meet with the administration.
So again, here's another opportunity for mother to follow up with psychological care for her child, and she adamantly refused, not just psychological care, but even to meet with school administration. Is that what that says?
That's my understanding.
Okay. And are those the types of things that you reviewed previously to inform and illustrate the evaluation that you've already described to the jury?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Your Honor, we'll pass the witnesses.
I have no further questions. Detective Fugit, you're the same Detective Fugit who's testified now many times in this trial?
I am.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor? Sir, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 99. Do you recognize that?
I do.
And is that a disc you made of a jail call?
I did.
And did the contents of this disc fairly and accurately depict the call that you went back and reviewed?
Yes, it does.
During this time, the State would move to admit State's Exhibit 99.
All right. We have no objection, Your Honor.
Permission to publish the jury, Your Honor?
You may.
And Detective, what was the date of this phone call?
February 11th, 2013.
And who was the phone call from?
It's from the defendant, Brandon Daniel, to his sister, Samantha Daniel.
To verify your name now, please say your full name after the beep.
Brandon Daniel.
I'm sorry, your verification failed. Please say your full name after the beep.
Brandon Daniel.
Thank you. I recognize your voice. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. You make yourself...
Do you have a piece of paper with you?
Yes, hold on, let me get it. Yes, go ahead.
Did Jenna contact you back?
Actually, let's, I don't know, I'm not, let's not talk about that right now.
Why not?
I don't know, I kind of wanted to catch up with you on other stuff,
Well, I was trying to call last week, but you wouldn't let me out Wednesday and Friday, and I'm trying to get a message across to Jen. I can call her directly, but I was hoping to go, because I already sent her some stuff through letter. And so it just takes like 10 days for the letters to go back and forth.
well, let me have her get back to me on that in just a few days. Are you going to be able to call this week?
Yeah, probably, but I was trying to call last week and they wouldn't let me out on Wednesday and Friday.
Huh.
I mean, she hasn't contacted you back, or is mom going to talk to me about
Well, let me see. Let me just wait on that and let me, I'll have, Dad let you know what's going on with that here later in this week.
Like, what is that supposed to be, Tim? I mean, you're the only one who can help me on this, out on this stuff. I mean, if you're letting Mom and Dad control everything, then there's no need to talk anyway. So what do you do?
Nothing. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I need to know what Jenna said first.
Oh, yeah, everything's good on that.
Okay, well, I'll talk to her directly.
Okay.
If you're not going to help me.
So on this new project I'm doing for basic interactive media production, we have to both the site and I'm doing it on knitting, and I have to, well, I'm going to be making like a faux business, but is Mom here?
Yeah.
No, she's at work.
Okay, so what did she say? I mean, I don't get the, I mean, are you talking to what is the mitigation specialist? Is that what this is about? Is that who's talking to you?
Oh no, I don't talk to anything like that. I don't hear anything about that or do anything with that. But I don't know. I think like Mom would like to talk to you personally though soon. Like I'll just have her take the phone to work and stuff. Like.
Well, I don't care about talking to Mom. You know, I just don't get what the whole reservation is about communicating what the message to Jenna is.
I just don't want it to get like misinterpreted or anything like that. I don't want anything to get like messed up in the communication or anything.
Well, I mean, you don't feel confident in relaying 2 sentences or something? Because, I mean, that's all it was last time. And then I put it all down in writing in the letter. I mean, in school, things are going to get a lot more complicated than that. I know it's not that, because you're reading all standoffish about it. So, I mean, you could just tell me like a grown-up person since you're almost 20 years old.
I know you're...
You don't need to have Mom and Dad tell you what to do every time. I mean, if you don't want to, you can just tell me. And then I can deal with it myself, which is not a problem. But I was hoping that I could use you as a friend. But if you're not going to, then that's fine. But you don't have to be all iffy about it. I hate edgy people. And if you're not going to help me, then you just tell me, like an adult.
Okay, then I can't help you then.
Okay.
But why are you mad at Mom?
I'm not mad at Mom. I mean, I guess I don't have anything to say. I mean, last time we talked, I don't have anything to say. I mean, I haven't contacted her. I mean, you can tell Dad not to show up either. I mean, look, if you guys don't want to help me, then I don't need any fucking help.
Ben, I just don't want you to... You just got everything back. I don't want anything to happen where you don't get anything. I want you to... I know you're trying to
I
work...
don't know what fuck I'm talking about. So if you don't know anything, then might as well keep your nose out of it, and I can just send it through letters.
And I don't want you to be mad at me. I just don't want anything to go wrong or anything.
Well, since you're not in here and you don't fucking know about anything, then I really, take everything that you have to say with a grain of salt. Understand?
Yeah. It's hard to communicate, like, sometimes I just want to be able to talk to you about, I don't know, about everything else. I don't know, I just...
Yeah, well, we can't, and we probably never will be able to again, so... And, so if you're not going to help me, then I think that's pretty messed up, especially since you're an adult. So you can communicate everything with Mom and Dad, like it's fucking non-stop. Everything that Jenna says, everything, I mean, it's fucking bullshit. As a 20-year-old fucking person, I mean. Well, decision, whatever it is.
You're acting as if, like, you'll never have a chance to get out and stuff. I know that's because you're tucked away in that place and, like everyone messes with your head and stuff, and that's all you keep thinking about is how you're just going to be in there forever. But you just think of
what I'm talking about anyway, first off. Second off, you're the one who's delusional on that. I mean, if you keep talking to Mom, who isn't in here, directly to my lawyers, you know, and actually absorb all the information that they're getting out. To pull out some stupid fucking decisions. So do you. People need to just use your brain about it. And I'm in here, so it's really not your guys' decision anyway, you know. I don't really give a shit what it means to you people. You people aren't in a box today. So, if you feel bad about it, I really fucking don't give a shit. Okay? You can fucking go get drunk, make yourself feel better, while I go back to my fucking box for the rest of the fucking day. So I really don't give a shit what you people think about it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Not your decision. It's not anything, I mean, really good. I think it's insane that you people think you can control it from out there. I think it's insane that you want to fucking stick your fingers into it when it's my fucking business. So if you don't want to fucking help me, then stay out of it. Because fucking, I don't have to fucking call you people ever again. I have no reason to fucking talk to you. And if you don't want to help me, then I definitely have no reason to fucking talk to you.
It's not that I don't want to help you. I just don't want anything to happen. I just want you to keep thinking about the positives of everything.
Oh yeah, there's lots of positives to it. And you need to fucking use your brain. Not listen to mom, who has a bunch of fucking wild dreams about me getting out. I'm not getting out. Ever. You need to listen to the lawyers. The lawyers have been doing this for 20 years, and they know what they're talking about. You understand? And I'm the one who has to fucking suffer for it. I mean, you guys suffer a little bit. I mean, fucking life goes on for you people. You fucking kidding me? You don't want to fucking help me? You realize, you know, I've been here in a fucking cage 24 hours a day. I haven't been out of the cage since last fucking Monday because he just forgets to take me out for rec. That's 24 hours a day for a fucking week. I don't give a shit what you people are going through. I really do not give a shit at all. I give 3 shits less. This is all about me. I don't really give a shit. I don't care if I sound fucking selfish about it at all. I'm the one in here. And I don't need your help. You just need to tell me directly. So now that I got it, you know, we don't have to talk again.
I don't want you to not talk to me.
Well, what do I don't really have anything to fucking say to you? You don't need to relay everything to mom when you're fucking 3 years old still. I know you can't handle things as an adult, but one day you're going to have to, or else you're going to be 30 years old living over there. Which, you know, I'm not sure if that's not going to happen already.
You have 1 minute left.
And you can't make assumptions on what I'm talking about or what I'm doing or what I'm thinking. Because you don't fucking know. So if I need to send it through the letters, I can. But you can tell Dad not to visit. I mean, I don't know why you guys sent him down here just to get rid of him from up there. And, I mean, I used to go over there and sit in the fucking visiting booth for an extra 3 hours because they forget about me over there all the time. So just fucking leave me alone if you're not gonna help me. You don't need to relay all these messages to Mom, but you can if you want to. You just can't fucking stop talking about it. You can't make any decisions on your own.
Man, I don't want you to not call me.
What do I have to say to you? I mean, shit, you can't fucking help me. You can't help me a little teeny ass little bit that you fucking aren't able to?
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.
And Detective, in your review of phone calls and letters, how often would Brandon Daniel refer to, for lack of a better word, major criminal events that have occurred since April 6, 2012?
It was a rather common theme, not only in his jail calls and through mail, but also through the visitations that he had with both his mother and his father. He often spoke about the Aurora, Colorado Cineplex movie theater shooting, as well as the Sandy Hook Elementary school shooting that took place in Newtown, Connecticut, 2012, the Boston Marathon bombing, which took place in 2013, and the most recently the D.C. Capitol Police shooting that had taken place.
And was that ever in perspective of the people hurt?
It was. He was rather intrigued, and I would say to the point of being fascinated with it. He often relayed details as to the number of casualties and the types of weapons that were utilized.
Did it seem to come from a place of sympathy or empathy for those who are hurt, or just a fascination with the event?
Fascination with the event, and even his mother on one point commented that she felt sorry for the shooter in the movie theater massacre.
The one that was in Colorado?
Aurora, Colorado, correct?
I'll pass it this time.
I got just one. Detective Puget, you indicated that there were a number of mentions by Brandon Daniel of people who had committed mass shootings. That's what you were talking about just a moment ago, correct?
That's correct.
And do you agree with me that quite often these references to these mass shooters is saying those people's behavior was much worse than my behavior? Would you agree with that?
I didn't come away with that impression, no.
That he also talked about the fact that it has been established that some of those people suffered from mental disorders. Is that correct?
I don't specifically recall that either, and I don't remember any mention of him comparing himself to any of the suspects in those cases.
Right, and he's not comparing himself. That's the phrase that you just used, correct?
I don't recall that he ever compared himself to them in any means. He just was enthralled with the incidents themselves.
You say enthralled with the incidences. What exactly does the word enthrall mean to you?
I think that he was intrigued. I think that he was fascinated. I think that he spent a great deal of his time reading about those incidents, either in newspaper or on the news, however he found out about them.
Let me stop you. Did he also write letters to friends about alien abductions?
He was very much a conspiracy theorist, yes.
And so he would listen to the radio shows. He would have letters where he would listen to the radio shows where they're talking about things like alien abduction, correct?
He did. He and his father, between two of them most often.
And zany theories about the beginning of civilization, if it was 30,000 years ago or 5,000 years ago. He was interested in those kind of things too.
He was.
Okay. He had a very broad range of interests in his letters. Would you agree with that?
I would say so.
He wrote letters about the Higgs boson and other mathematical and phenomenon physics. Would you agree with that?
He did.
He wrote love letters to his girlfriend Jenna Phelan, is that correct?
He did.
He drew all sorts of artwork to his mom and to his girlfriend, that's correct, isn't it?
Quite a bit of artwork, yes, he did.
He doesn't write any artwork that's glorifying any of these mass shooting events, does he?
Not that I recall offhand, no.
Fair enough. Sir, I'm a first witness. May I first witness? Detective Fugit, I'm going to show you a couple of letters, and I wonder if you can identify these for the jury. All the outgoing mail from Brandon Daniel was scanned, screened, and copied. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
As long as it was not marked as legal mail.
Okay. So this letter appears to be, it's at least got Mary Odell's return on it, but can you read over this and see if you have ever seen this letter before?
Okay, can you give me a moment?
Of course.
I've never seen this letter before.
You don't recall ever having seen this letter to Jenna Phelan?
No, and I would certainly remember it.
All right. Now, in the copies that we've received, there are a certain number of copies which are extremely faint and almost impossible to read. Is that the same kind of copy that you're reading?
I'm telling you, I have never seen this letter before.
That wasn't the question that I asked you, Detective.
Okay, rephrase the question, please.
Sure. In my discovery, I received copies of a number of letters, scanned copies of a number of letters in handwriting that are extremely difficult to read.
Some of them are difficult to read.
I'm not criticizing you for that. I'm just saying that that's the case.
The quality is poor.
Is that the same quality of letter that you would be reading?
Yes.
You would typically not read the original letter. You would read a copy, kind of like the scanned copy that we have.
Right.
Okay.
It'd either be, it'd be scanned, or sometimes it'd be scanned and emailed to
Okay.
me.
Can you read over this letter and tell me if you have ever seen that letter before?
Sure. This one I have not.
Fair enough.
I don't know where you got these letters from. I've never seen them before.
Can you identify the handwriting in these letters? Is that Brandon Daniel's handwriting?
It appears to be.
Because you've read many, many of his letters to various people. Is that correct?
I have, and I've summarized virtually every one, and I've never seen either one of these two letters.
And the reason why you know that for certain is because each letter seems to indicate remorse, and you've said that you've never read a letter of his that indicates remorse. Is that correct?
I swear to this court, I never have.
Fair enough. These letters that you read
appear to indicate remorse. Is that correct?
I've never seen those letters. I'm not quite sure they
You
came
just saw
from.
them, you just looked at these. Right?
Prior to right now, I don't know how you came into having those letters, but I'd never seen them.
These letters indicate remorse, is that correct?
They do. They're quite different than any other letter I've ever read from him.
Right. All right, Your Honor, we'll pass the witness.
I have no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Bell.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're going to recess for the day. Please come back at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
So then I drive home an hour. We're just don't put on my bed. I get home. I go in there to eat. And I looked up he goes, it's still warm. And I already hear the voice start to something. And I looked it up and I go, I thought we were having chicken tacos. And he goes, it is chicken tacos. And I was like, oh. And the boys both go, he put stuff in it. Well, he kind of, and I said, oh. I said, what is it, kind of like chicken enchiladas and a taco? And he was like, yes, because he had put like sour cream and different stuff in it. And so